Okay, so it's been a long time since I've talked. Mostly because once the criticism was figured out, I stopped having a reason to uh, essentially say anything. Because technically, if I say something, it's criticism, right? Because most of what's going on in the twin flame realities right now is just criticism. It's you need to do this, you need to. If you don't do it my way, it's wrong. Because a lot of people, like, I mean, I realize there's a lot of people out there that are screaming for help, that are, but there's more people out there that are hurting the people that are looking for help than they're helping. People telling us that we can't watch porn, people telling us that, we have to do this and we have to do this and should. And that's wrong because a true teacher, like Lee and Sherry, actually, because I was trying to think of, like, some of the people that I've resolved some of the people that I actually respect. Lee and Sherry do counseling, right? I do Reiki, which leads to soul knowledge, which leads to self teaching. What my point is that what we do with our clients is we work with them as their situation. We don't claim to talk to aliens. We don't claim to talk to archangels. We don't invade people's privacy and spaces like Tilia Joy, because this is the heart of the black magic problem. The black magic that I refer to is not raising demons. It's not, shall we say for the Christians, devil worshipping. It is infecting your will onto others. Where this one woman, Tilia Joy, she came to me. I was sleeping one night and this female voice said, "Oh, you have a title and you've never used it. What a shame." And that kind of upset me, but, I was like, whatever, it's some spirit, blah, blah, blah. And then I have this conversation with this woman who's like, "Oh, we should sit down and talk." I'm like, okay, but my intuition's screaming she wants to charge me. But not once before we talked did she mention money at all, which basically means that I didn't owe her anything for any reason because she never put it on the table. So legally, she never asked for money until 2 days later, she comes back from talking to her spirit guides and says, "Oh, yeah, so like $200, let's, that would be a fair exchange." And me being, non-confrontational at that moment, I was like, okay, sure, whatever. And then I started thinking about it and I'm like, okay, this woman admitted to interfering with my energy, coming in, looking into my being without my permission. Well, that's what's black magic. You're going ahead and deciding that you know what's best when we know that Jason has problems with these kind of people because criticism. That other lady that I took down the See You Next Tuesday word. Same thing, right? I know what's best. I know what's best. Now, if I was to read to you what she recently wrote to me this morning, it only confirms how driven by shadow and ego that she really is, because suddenly I woke up this morning and she's like, "Well, you're really funny. You must still have that deep black mess in your heart chakra that we were working on." Blah, 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 me. I'm a victim, me, poor me. Poor Tilia, poor Tilia, poor Tilia. Tilia's a housewife in Ohio. Like, she thinks that she's talking to archangels. When I mentioned the word occult to her, all these red flags went up and she freaked out. And that was sort of another point where I was like, wow, there's a lot of fraud in this woman. She doesn't have a fucking clue. She's got a few screws loose. And here's the problem with the rest of you out there. You guys need to look for your own answers. You need to stop, and I know I'm saying need, but there needs to be an end to the bullshit with Twin Flames. There needs to be an end to the bullshit with the New Age community. There needs to be an end to the bullshit. Because the only thing that can help you is you. Your soul, your knowledge, your decisions. That's what's going to change you. That's what's going to attract love, light, and the rest of it. Now, people like Tilia Joy, who claim to be, working with archangels and blah, 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 are absolutely stupid because, first off, an archangel has a lot better to do than sit there and talk to one human being. There may be an emissary talking to them. There may be, if we want to talk about the hierarchy, let's just say the archangels here. They're dealing with something down here because that archangel isn't bothering with humanity in the sense of one person. It's dealing with a global issue. Secondly, if you study the Kabbalah, which is the original portion of what Jesus talked about in Christianity, you might learn this stuff, but you don't. So then you think that the occult, which is actually the Kabbalah, and Jewish mysticism and sort of Egyptian mysticism and all the mysteries, the knowledge, lined up into a particular level of information, understanding, and i.e. gnosis or knowledge, you might not be so dumb. But these people are. They're grasping at straws. They're trying to be so... They're insignificant and they want to be significant. They want to be powerful. They want more, drive. And every time I shut this woman down, she would come back and start talking. And I'm like, the fact that you don't walk away from this conversation, the fact that I have put you in your place and told you that you practice black magic because you don't understand the rules, rule one of life, leave everybody alone and deal with your own shit. Don't invade anybody else's space. Clients come to you, then you talk to them because they've opened the door to you. But you don't just succubus and vampire into somebody else's world, because that's a no-no. That's black magic. And let me tell you guys, an archangel, in magic, in the occult, there are ways to discern whether a entity is telling you the truth or not. And let me tell you right now, they lie. Oh my God. So something telling me it's an archangel could actually not be benefiting humanity. It could be fucking people up because it lied. There's no way to discern under the, oh hey dude, so what's your sign? Oh, that's cool. So what's your name? Oh my God, you're Metatron? Wow man, that's really, really cool because oh wow, you're Metatron, cool. Meanwhile, it's not. Right? Metatron, the energy of Metatron, these lights, these angels, whatever. Speaking from a scientific point of view, they would melt our skin off. That's the radiance of them. That's the vibration. That's, So if people are dealing with archangels, they're not. They're dealing with something else, and that's where you guys have to be very aware, because you cannot trust that, some housewife in Ohio who just happens to, start channeling information, is channeling from a divine and pure source. So, while the twin flame situation just dissolves and destroys itself because everybody is now glommed onto, finding their one true love again, I'm just going to avoid talking about any of it, because as I finally realized, my twin flame is a narcissist, because I will read to you guys at another point this thing that one of the guys on Facebook that I know posted about narcissism and living in a pretend reality. And what I'm going to leave you with is that it's time that you guys start meditating and start doing the work that you need to do for yourselves, because as much as people like Tilia Joy can say, oh, I'm magical and I'm doing everything for you, and if you're not doing the work, you're suffering. I have met a lot of people over the years who have had quantum healings and had, energy work this way and energy work that way. It's like someone going and getting a shaman certificate. I'm sorry, what? How are you a shaman after 3 days? I'm sorry, no, what? You know what I mean? Now, it may be that there's an energy healing system in that, but to say you're a shaman after a 3-day course because you have a piece of paper that said, wake up guys, this is just getting out of control, and that's why I'm not interested in it anymore. I like my Reiki. Yes, in Reiki you can have, it can be instant 3 days, but then you have a lifetime of growing, a lifetime of experiencing, a lifetime of doing, right? And like I said, I've met a lot of people who've had quantum healings and had all these different things, but here's the funny thing about them all. A lot of them don't end up changing because they don't want to, because they don't do the work, so they don't understand the source point, whatever, and then nothing changes. I've grown and I've changed and I've gotten smarter because I've gotten rid of my baggage. I've dealt with my shadow. And I'm not here to say follow me and listen to me because I'm perfect. I'm here to say, as a fellow human being who's working in this world on me to make that world a better place, because if I'm better, that's better. That's who I am with you guys. I'm not some, I talked to space aliens from the nebulous, Lord 596632 in Sirius next to Draconi, over from Virgo next to Ceres, and in the middle of, the Platian galaxy 16 million light years away. Because that's bullshit. Because even if it's true, who cares? Because what is it doing? It's not doing anything. Oh my god, I'm talking to something in space. And oh my god, it's telling me what to do. And oh my god, my life's not changing. The people I'm working with are still human beings. And oh my god, I just placated my ego because I feel like I'm doing something. But I'm not. Buddha, Lao Tzu, Confucius, the Dalai Lama, Parananda, my yogi, Aleister Crowley, Dion Fortune, H.P. Blavatsky, they talked about this stuff, but they also still dealt with their shit. They still dealt with their humanity. They still worked on their humanity because that's the thing that matters most. So when somebody's approaching you and firstly they don't tell you what they're doing and then suddenly come back and tell you that you owe them money, that's a charlatan, that's a fraud. Secondly, if the only thing they know is the Bible and they are afraid of the word occult, then they don't know what they're doing. They don't know the rules of engagement. They don't understand anything that's going on. So again, it's another fraud. So please, Twin Flames, watch out for your charlatans, because there's a lot of them feeding on you guys because you're not doing your work. And instead of looking within, you keep seeking an external source of happiness and validation and all the rest of it. So yeah, try to get over that, because I did, and I got healthy. And it took me 6 years of work. It took me 6 years of doing Reiki, 6 years of applying my, with the baggage that was happening outside. Every tension that I hit when I was working through my problems, I looked at myself for these problems. I didn't look and say, God has screwed me over, or this thing has gone wrong because of this. There was never an external, it was all internal, and now I'm healthy and now I'm happy. And everybody out there can be the same. So stop paying these charlatans money. Stop buying into the black magic issues of other people imposing their ideas on you, because nobody knows your journey but you. I don't care if you're a twin flame. I don't care who you are. You're a human being with a spark of divinity that is your soul. That enough is for you to go within and sort yourself out, because your soul knows what to do. Nobody else needs to tell you what to do. You don't have to pay anyone else. Yes, okay, you can pay for Reiki, sure, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? You don't go to people like Tilia Joy who are like, oh, I'm offering whatever for $60 or $100 or. Meanwhile, I have no foundation in what I'm doing. I have no background. I have no, I'm just going to tell you that you're healed and then charge you a shitload of money. That's called charlatanism. That's what we used to call the gypsies. So really, please think about what you're doing. Think about who you're engaging with, and think about why you're not doing your own work. I love you guys because you're all beautiful. So just enjoy your own beauty and stop asking someone else to validate it for you. Okay?